Hey! Hey, Quivigate here. You probably never expected to see me again, didn't you? But it has dawned on me that math is a very hard thing to do. And I mean it. I mean, as someone who's taking calculus in grade 12, it is a very, very challenging thing to do. So on my mother's birthday, we went out for dinner, and I was scrolling Twitter, as I usually do, until I ran into this tweet. Let me just pull it up here. This tweet right here, by my dear friend Carl Benjamin. Says, have we considered that the teachers are also a product of the failing education system? Carl, I'll take it from here. You've played your part, let me be the defendant. You can be the plaintiff, okay? We'll be friends. And it shows a problem that says, it took Mary 10 minutes to saw a board into 2 pieces. If she works just as fast, which, if Mary is as young as I think she is, she probably shouldn't be working because of labor laws, how long will it take her to saw another board into 3 pieces? Simple question. Very, very simple word problem. Not, the child puts down 20, but the teacher says it is 15. What? I mean, in engineering, but my problem isn't that there is difference. My problem is if we keep scrolling down and we see some of these comments. So here's a funny meme. Now I promised my people I wouldn't get political, but this isn't getting political, this is getting mathematical. So the caption of the meme is, when I hear people say teachers need to be paid more, and then underneath it says, the public education system could be replaced by YouTube. I'm gonna be honest, it probably could be, but there are some experiences that you get in public education that you do not get on YouTube. Human interaction. Now, I did in fact capture this on mobile, so just bear with me for a second. Comments read, this is somewhat a hard question. It takes a certain IQ to be able to think it through. The student is definitely bright though. 1 point for the student. 1 piece equals 0 cuts. 2 piece equals 1 cut, 10 minutes. 3 pieces equals 2 cuts, 20 minutes. 4 pieces equals 3 cuts, 30 minutes. Salary of all teachers in US combined equals 240 billion. 3.8 million teachers in US. Teachers cost $63,000 per year. I think your profile picture says everything I need to know about you. Teachers were great when they were the underpaid wives of male bread earners who wanted to work the same hours as their kids. Americans scare me. So you know that I couldn't let this go. I mean, the teachers are clearly pinned up against the wall. Is the teacher right, or are they wrong? Well, I did the math in my head, and I also got 15. Hold on, am I the stupid one? Surely not. Let's put it into good old Microsoft Paint. Oh my goodness. So to better explain this problem, I've loaded up Microsoft Paint, which I've not used in 11 years, so just bear with me, please. So it took Mary, let's draw Mary here. Okay, so it took Mary 10 minutes to saw through a board and make it 2 pieces. Excellent. But it's not excellent because we shouldn't use the equal sign here. You know why? Because it is a ratio question. 10 minutes to saw through 2 pieces. So for every 10 minutes that pass, there will be 2 pieces of wood. So we use 2 dots right here to symbolize that. Now, commonly in a ratio, or at least what I learned from my superior Canadian education, you have to reduce the ratio as much as possible. I guess a standard way to do that would be to find out what each side is divisible by. Well, see, the thing about 2 is kind of a prime number. It can be divided by itself and 1. I hope everyone knows what a prime number is, because I do not want to explain that. So we'll divide 2 by 2 pieces, just like that. Now this is gonna make 1. You thought I was gonna say 0, didn't you? Jeez, people. Since when is anything divided by itself 0? Like, what? So 2 pieces divided by 2 pieces is going to make 1. It is. That's just the way math works, because how many times does 2 pieces go into 2 pieces? Once. It only goes in once. Let's hold on to that thought for now. What we do to one side, you have to do to the other. So let's take 10 minutes and divide it by 2 pieces. But wait, what? You can't divide 10 minutes by 2 pieces. That's right, because words aren't supposed to be in math. So 10 divided by 2 is 5 minutes. This video isn't in French. Dang it, now I screwed up my English. 5 minutes goes into 1 piece. 1 piece? We have to find out how long it takes for 3 pieces. So I'll put this in brackets. I promise this will help. And then all we have to do is multiply everything by 3. I hope everyone knows what multiplication is. And please follow along with the calculator in case I do something wrong, because it's 100% possible. I just woke up and I want to do math first thing in the morning. It's amazing. I know. So we distribute the 3 into the 1 and the 3 into the 5. Giving us 5 times 3 is 15 minutes, and 1 times 3 is 3 pieces. All done. Which is what I want you to think. Because the far right on Twitter has hit it again. They've done it again. They've done it again. They did it again. They played their putt. They played their putt. And they did it. They really did it. Now, now they have a little bit of a different way of solving this. So let me just show you that. Let me just show you what absolute atrocity they used to solve this. It's pretty funny. I'll show you. I'll show you. Well, I find it funny. But hey, at least I'm trying to see the other perspective. Couldn't say the same about you guys. So let's take this. Let's take this. 10 minutes goes into 2 pieces. Whoa. Stop. We've already made an error. That's not a ratio anymore. It's not. It's a standard equation. So 10 minutes into 2 pieces. Okay, now let's add a variable. How many cuts make 2 pieces? Well, 2 pieces equals 1 cut. 10 minutes equals 2 pieces equals 1 cut. Now I gotta draw this visually because I don't do math visually. I do it mathematically. 10 minutes into 2 pieces, that makes 1 cut. Alright, for 3 pieces, we would have to write another equation. Oh, I'm gonna have to express this as algebra. It's gonna be algebra. It's gonna be algebra! Algebra, yay, I'm doing algebra at 8 in the morning. Yay. Exactly what I want to do. X minutes equals 3 pieces equals... Now, how many cuts would it take to make it 3 pieces? Well, 2. So it is 2 cuts. Interesting. So then we could find the difference between this and this. Well, obviously, it is multiplied by 2. So let's multiply this by 2. X equals 20. The answer is 20 minutes. But my question is, can we really define what kind of cut they're doing? So let's go down here and let's draw our plank of wood. As we can see, this is a 90-degree cut. The best it could be. But there could also be a 45-45 cut, which in turn would make the total number of cuts in this board 3 cuts for 1, 2, 3 pieces. Oh my, uh-oh, oh dear, someone paid the carpenter extra money and bro went crazy. How many sides does a circle have, people? Infinite or 0? In this case, it's infinite because it's a 1D object. A cut would be one-dimensional on a two-dimensional plane. I hope everyone is having a good day today. Now there are 4 pieces for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infinity plus 6 cuts. Infinity plus 6 cuts? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Now, where does everything fall apart at the cuts? Now a lot of those far right-wing people made it very clear that there was, in fact, a form of cuts. But the only thing is, it didn't mention cuts anywhere in the question. It's like they kind of just brought that in with their little knowledge of trades that they have. Actually, I have no doubt that they have a lot of knowledge of trades, because a good 60 to 80% of them didn't graduate high school. So if the question said somewhere inside of it that there were in fact cuts, factor in the cuts are 90 degree, the cuts are 100, the cuts are 45 degree cuts, I could understand that. They would be correct. Now here's the question, alright? I've expressed different ways of looking at it, from a mathematical standpoint or a far-right extremist standpoint, but what if I told you something that no right nor left extremist would ever tell anyone in their entire lives? What if we were both right? Yeah, what if we were both right? I mean, if you think about it, the only thing that is tripping us up, and believe me, I looked into this, I thought it was the word another. It was the word into. The dialect of English that we speak is so precise that the word into has 2 different meanings. Saw a board into 2 pieces. They see it as the action of sawing, cutting the board, making 1 cut. The way I see it, it's however long it takes for the 2 pieces to literally appear. In my case, when I divided 2 by 2, I guess the analogy that I could use was it took 5 minutes to actually get the plank to get the actual board. So I guess that's it. We're both right. Both of us are right, or both of us are wrong. Don't blame me, blame English, because it's a confusing language. I mean, English as a language sucks. It's a terrible language. I don't understand why people speak it, but everyone does, thus making it necessary. So it's not us, it's English. We're both right, or we're both wrong. But the defendant has one more claim for the plaintiff. Why are you thinking about this as a word problem, as a riddle? It's not a riddle, it's a math equation. So allow me to express it as one, to the best of my abilities. You remember when I said math doesn't use words? I meant it. It took Mary, get Mary out of the equation. 10 minutes? 10 minutes? To saw a board into 2 pieces. Get rid of this entire sentence. If she works just as fast, that'll mean something. 10 minutes. Let's see. T equals 10. We now have a variable. T equals 10. P equals 2. If she works just as fast, acceleration equals 0. It's a constant, you idiots. How long would it take her? Okay, well, now we have to start adding 2 of the same variables. Time initial, time final equals what? Into 3 pieces? Piece final equals 3, piece initial equals 2. Allow me to introduce to you algebra. So if acceleration is 0, it is a constant. Therefore, she will be sawing the pieces at the exact same speed, meaning no speeds will change. No speeds will change. This will all stay very, very static. So you see, people, it is a ratio. It is a ratio of 10, not 10 minutes to 2 pieces. It is a ratio of 10 to 2. And if acceleration equals 0, it will be moving at a constant. It will be moving at a constant. And if this is time initial, and this is piece initial, we need time final, which is equal to what? Which is the same thing as piece final, which is 3. So what could we do? Well, we could multiply both of these by 1.5 to get them the same. This would also make 15. We could. Oh god, I'm losing oxygen. Wow. Because regardless what we do, this 2 has to equal to 3. Because, like, cuts? It doesn't give us cuts. What are you adding stuff? Like, okay, here, let me add syrup, how about? Let me add good old maple syrup to the mix. Alright, here's some maple syrup, bud. Here's some maple syrup, you hoser. Excellent. Now acceleration equals 0.23. Now how fast is she going, huh? You can't just add variables to things that don't exist. Like, define cuts. Define this stuff. You have to define it. It's not defined. Get it out. Oh my goodness. 2 has to be equal to 3 because all we have is 2, 3, 10, and time final, which would equal 15 if you had brain cells. But you don't, so it doesn't equal 15. It equals 20. It has to equal 20, right? Because cuts is definitely in the problem. Cuts isn't in the problem. It never was. And maybe, instead of trying to judge someone else's perspective, try challenging it. Try doing it their way and see if it makes sense. And if it doesn't make sense mathematically, odds are you did something wrong. But if it makes sense in your head, it's called delusion. Cuts wasn't in the problem, just like your head was in the clouds when you tried to solve this question, more than likely high on whatever substance you were smoking. So I have a couple suggestions for you. Stop drinking, stop smoking, and maybe your life is gonna get better. That is all. I've tried to do it your way. I've tried so hard. I've shown you why it doesn't work. I mean, if there's 2 things, and I know this from experience, if there's 2 things that right-wing extremists are good at, it's changing the subject, straight up yelling at you or ignoring you, or looking at what you've done, knowing full well what you're doing, but still accusing you is wrong, because in the end, you cannot win an argument against a stupid person. But consider this a victory. I've done it, Mother. I've proved them wrong. My loving family just came in and clapped for me. To Carl Benjamin, if that even is your real name. The teachers are not failing the education system. Have you ever considered... Now, I know that this might be a little difficult for people who are self-centered around themselves, egocentric, and extremist, especially. Have you ever considered the thought that maybe the problem is you? Have you ever looked online, and I mean this as... I'm being genuine, I'm being real right now. Like, I'll take off the suit, I'll get into the my normal clothes and everything. And this is the problem with my generation. We are so hecking polarized that we can't even fathom what the other side is. I mean, people on the left, they hate the people on the right, and the people on the right absolutely despise the people on the left. It's polarization caused by media, caused by government, and I see it more than ever because I'm not right-wing and I'm not left-wing. I'm not the best of both worlds. I'm the best of no worlds. I'm a person, not a political ideology. I mean, I maybe in the past I've made jokes about it, but I don't really mean it. I'm not political at all. In fact, even on Twitter, Carl Benjamin, I'm sorry, but after this video is posted, more than likely I will block you because I can't have super political things, super polarizing things messing with my life. Like back on Twitter, I used to get these threads, hundreds upon thousands of them would come into my feed and try and convince me that women were some terrible, terrible creature. They're not. A good portion, if not like over 80% of my friends are women. They're not terrible. Men aren't the problem. Women aren't the problem. Media is. Media is convincing us that the other side is wrong. Media is convincing us that our ideology is correct. Unless that ideology is being a human being, odds are it won't work for anyone. Because we are human. We are only human. That's all we can ever be. That's all we will ever be. And the sooner that the egocentric, egotistical, individualist extremists get that into their head, this world will forever downward spiral. It's not the right wing or the left wing that's the problem, it's the extremists that hold it together. So if we can get rid of them, this world will be the ideal atmosphere for everyone. That is all. Doth my eyes deceive me? I spelt minutes wrong.